on YouTube as I am with another production on the CBR 1K RR. Today we're going to be going over detailing your bike and not having to use any water whatsoever. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and get this bike up on the rear stand. Give me just 1 second and I'll show you how to do that. I got my pit bull stand, and standing your bike up on the rear is actually pretty easy. You want to go ahead and get your pit bull stand locked in on the side leaning down, on your kickstand side basically. And then you're going to use your body weight to stand your bike up, and then as you stand it up, you're going to get the right side locked in as well. Once you double check to make sure they're both lined up, you'll just go ahead and push down on that handle. Bingo bango, it's up, boom. So now that we got the bike on the rear stand, let's go ahead and go over the supplies you're going to need. This is actually very simple, and I'm pretty sure that you can probably get all this stuff from your local Walmart for maybe under 20, 25, 30 bucks. Let's get into it. So first thing that I go with is auto glass cleaner. We all know that auto glass cleaner by itself is a natural degreaser, and not really natural because it's chemical, but it is a degreaser to an extent. But I always wait until I get a little bit low to about right here, and then I fill the rest back up with 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol to add to the degreasing effect. And it also dries very, very quickly. So we're definitely going to be using this first. Next thing is a little bit of quick detailer. I'm a big Meguiar's fan. The stuff is always phenomenal, but I'm actually going to be using this with one addition. Hold on. I'm going to be clay barring my entire bike, at least as far as the plastics are concerned, but I'm also going to be including clay barring the front windscreen and the inside of the windscreen as well. Next, this stuff is actually extremely dope. I use this on my bins. It's basically the same thing as any other speed wax, except for this stuff is a lot thicker, and you'll actually see the consistency when I start using it. I'm also going to be hitting it off with a fine cut cleaner, basically a light rubbing compound. It's not too abrasive, but you'll basically see how this adds to the overall finish. And I'm actually going to be using this before I put the Rain-X fast wax. So I'm going to be cleaning it with the glass cleaner, hitting it with the quick detailer and a clay bar. Then I'm going to hit it with the rubbing compound, and then I'm going to come through and finish everything off with the fast wax. So let's get into it. I'm going to be starting off with the auto glass cleaner, and I'm just going to be hitting it with some nice sprays all along this end right here. And I'm gonna hit this pretty heavy. One, because this stuff is gonna dry pretty quickly because it has a lot of alcohol in it. And two, we all know that this is gonna be the part of the bike that gets the most dirt on it. So I'm just gonna let this go ahead and drip off for a little bit. Now that it's been sitting for a little while, I'm gonna go ahead and start wiping it down. And I always use the white cloth for this part because I really wanna see how much dirt is actually coming off my bike. And you can see that just from this one little section right here, a lot of dirt just came off of there. And you're not gonna see me really going too hard and scrubbing too hard on these areas. And part of the reason for that is because the clay bar is actually gonna take care of most of that. But you can already see how shiny this side fairing is just from hitting it with a little bit of glass cleaner with some rubbing alcohol in it, and it's hitting with a quick wipe down like that. Let me go ahead and start moving around the bike a little bit. Now, I was out for a ride yesterday, and evidently the bugs showed no mercy whatsoever on the front end of my bike. So let me go ahead and get this drenched. And while I'm getting this drenched, I'm gonna go ahead and hit up this front nose fairing as well. And give me some chance to wipe down these forks that aren't leaking. Thank you, Jesus. Now you don't want to let this get on the fork seals. I know it was like, oh man, it's just glass cleaner. Nah, bro, this will dry your freaking fork seal caps out in a heartbeat. So, perfect. Now I'm wiping this down, and you can see these bug guts are just coming right off. I'm not even putting a whole lot of elbow grease into this, guys, like at all. And you can see just how much more clean it's getting just from doing something so simple. And like I said, I'm gonna come through with the clay bar, so I'm not focused on like getting this super spot free right now, because when I come through with that clay bar is gonna dig in and get all that garbage right off. So I'm just not too concerned about that. I mean, look how clean this thing is getting. And this is just using glass cleaner and some rubbing alcohol. So save your money on all the chemical guys stuff. I don't knock them. Their stuff is legit, but save your cash, yo. Save your cash. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the other side real quick, and then I'm gonna get back to the side that I started on, and we're gonna go ahead and get the clay bar process started up. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and hit the tank up real quick. It's looking good, it's looking good. I think I'm actually gonna end up painting this black, yo. This silver's starting to kind of get on my nerves a little bit. And I'm thinking about it right now, and I actually forgot one crucial part of the detailing process, one chemical that I use quite a bit, and I'm actually gonna go run out and get that real quick. It's in the trunk of my car, and you're gonna see how that stuff just basically adds the finishing touch to all of your black plastics, and no, it's not tire shine. So let me get up in here real fast. Cool. Put this down. And this isn't going to be the final clean for this windshield either. Again, like I said, I'm going to be coming through with the clay bar, and I'm going to be hitting basically everything with the clay bar. The part about detailing your bike is this rear wheel. Both your wheels actually. They just get so freaking dirty that it's ridiculous. I feel like motorcycle wheels get dirtier than car wheels do. It's like riding for one day. I come back and my wheels they're toast, they're done. And it might be because I'm always on the back roads, you know, doing something stupid or going somewhere. That could actually be why, but it's like, dang, man, they're always just freaking filthy. So can you see how dirty this bike was, y'all? Look at how dirty my bike was, guys. Like, look at this. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. But I'm not gonna lie, it's literally been like a full month. Maybe even longer since I've actually washed this thing, which is terrible. Never go that long without washing your bike, y'all. Never. Like, you don't deserve to ride if you neglect your bike like that. Like, straight up, yo. There are rules, there are laws for this kind of stuff that says you need to detail your bike this many times, you know, a month to be considered a real rider. Just kidding, just kidding. Has nothing to do with being a real rider, y'all. But yep, as you can see, we got this side nice and clean. I got the other side nice and clean also. I'm gonna get the wheel done on the other side, and then I'll check back in with you guys in a second. One thing I'll always do when I'm cleaning my front wheel is I actually just come to the rear, and I'll just either pull or push the bike forward or backward, just to make sure that I'm able to get the entire circumference of the wheel at once. But we're back, we're done with the wipe down portion of it. So now we're going to be hitting it up with the quick detailer and the clay bar. When your clay bar gets dirty, you don't want to use it anymore. So when it starts to get like a brownish yellowish complexion, it's done. Throw it away, because that means that there's a bunch of contaminants in it now from, you know, constantly cleaning your car or your bike. And once it starts to get so many contaminants in it, it'll actually start to scratch your clear coat. You got a fresh microfiber. Do not use an old microfiber for this portion of it. So fresh microfiber, make sure we're turned on. So clay barring is actually very simple. It's not abrasive. It works more through dissolution than abrasive rubbing, so you don't need to rub it hard at all. So I'm just gonna hit it with a nice mist, and you want to do this section by section. And we'll just come down here and clay bar. You'll just take it up. And one thing when you do, like when you're clay barring, one thing you want to pay attention to is rough spots. So if you're clay barring an area and the clay bar is not just gliding over it, that's going to be an area that you want to concentrate on a little bit. Look at this. You can already see the dirt and grime coming off from the clay bar. And you guys saw how much dirt came off from the rag as well. So that just goes to show you the proof is in the pudding. Hate that phrase, I don't know why I said it. Let's hit it again, because it's a little rough down here. I'm gonna flip it over now. Perfect. And look at that, look at this reflection. You see this reflection down here? Look at that, oh my gosh. Come on guys, stop playing with me. And the reason that we're gonna want to clay bar first before we do the rubbing compound is you don't want to start putting a rubbing compound, even if it's a fine compound, on your paint, swirling it back and forth hard, if there's still contaminants in your clear coat, because then you're just going to end up causing big swirl marks and scratches. People don't understand where swirl marks and scratches come from like waxing your car, but that's where. Clay barring is more of like results oriented. So it's like if you're clay bar in the same area and it's just like super smooth, then there's actually no point in just continuing to clay bar it over and over again. You kind of just want to go over it, because like I said, if you hit rough spots, then you know that there's a spot that's heavily contaminated, either whether it be dirt or debris or old bug guts that have gotten jammed in your clear coat and you just can't see it with the naked eye. But you don't, like, there's no reason to keep on clay barring. This is like results. You're looking for results here. So if it's not getting smoother and smoother, like you can see picking up all this garbage, you see all this garbage that's coming up, you know, out of the clear coat. The clay bar did not look like this before I started using it. So you know that what I'm saying is true. Let's go ahead and wipe this down. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's the way I want my bike to look always. I gotta do this more often. I might start doing this at least twice a month, y'all. Look at that. Look at that shine. Just look at it. Look at the shine, people. Look at the shine. Let me go and switch to the front end real quick. We are on the front. Let's get this thing misted. Just like that. And this is gonna be sectional. So notice I'm not spraying the front nose fender as I did when I was doing the glass cleaner portion of it. And this is actually a lot smoother than I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was gonna be hitting more rough patches than I am. So that's actually pretty cool. There we go. And do you guys remember how many bug spots were on the front of my bike before I started cleaning it? Now you can almost see none. And you can see some of these little divots where the clay bar is picking up, you know, some of those extra contaminants out of the clear coat. And it's actually looking like there's some scratches there. But the cool thing is when I come through with a rubbing compound, all of this stuff is going to go away and the front end is going to end up looking brand new. Just to make sure that we're not getting any haze going on with that. There we go. Hit this clay bar in this little section right here. Now this total process to wipe down the clay bar and all this, I mean, this can take about 45 minutes in real world time. And again, it really just depends on how much time you want to put into it. Do you want to rush through it, or do you want to, you know, actually do it the right way? If you want to rush through it, then there's not really any point of you doing it in the first place if you're just going to rush. But if you're going to do it the right way, then, you know, you're looking at about 45 minutes of work, which isn't bad. I mean, because it takes about 2 hours to do a full detail on a car, depending on how dirty the car is. It takes me about 2 hours to do a detail on my car. My car is almost never dirty. So that's like base bare minimum time for an auto detail. Look at how clean this thing is, guys. It's just getting so clean and so shiny. I mean, people actually I've actually had a couple of guys think my bike is brand new when it's clean, and you know, CBR hasn't really changed their body style too heavily. You know, so if you don't really know bikes that much, you may think that it's a brand new bike just based on the condition. Because to be honest, you probably see a lot of guys out there whose bikes are just, you know, terribly dirty and rusted, and they're still riding on a rust bucket. You know, I don't know how people do that, but to each his their own, you know. There we go. Got that front end clay bar. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this other side down here, and then I'm gonna get back to the other side, and we're gonna start it up with the rubbing compound. And I always forget to show you guys the tank. The tank is like my favorite part because it's the part of the bike that I see the most, you know, when I'm riding. You know what I mean? I always see the tank the most when I'm riding. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is looking nice, guys. Wish I could see it in person. The reflection, y'all. This is a 08, y'all. This is a 08, y'all. You just need to know that. It's a 08, y'all. Did say that I was going to be clay barring the windscreen as well. I'm actually going to be getting the zero gravity course like I did on my 600 RR. Man, I missed my 600 a little bit. Just a little bit. Only because I had a lot of mods on it before I sold it. And I've just been kind of taking my time doing a whole bunch of upgrades to my 1000. But I think it is high time that I just go ahead and get the go ahead and throw them levers on there. I've been talking about doing them levers for like weeks now, and I just, you know, haven't gotten around to ordering them. the Shorty MZS billet aluminums. There we go. And that windscreen actually looks loads better just from hitting it with a little clay bar like that. That's crazy how one small thing can make all the difference with your bike. Next things next, the rubbing compound. This part is actually going to take the longest. Hitting a bike off with rubbing compound, it's not a short process. I mean, there's no way to speed this up, and it's kind of like doing the clear coat. Like, this is the part that you don't want to mess up on. Make sure you don't have any like extra debris in your waxing pad either. You don't want to get any of that embedded down in your clear coat, where you're going to be hitting it with a little bit of abrasion as well. You're going to be rubbing it so fast that friction is going to build up, and it's going to build up enough to where it's hot enough to soften your clear coat to the point to where it's going to be pliable, and you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's shake it up. Make sure everything in there is mixed together. There we go. Alright. I always start from the bottom and work my way up. As you can see, I'm doing straight lines. I'm not doing swirls. And on some of these top areas, I'm just going to be doing nice side-to-side motions like this. And one thing I want you guys to notice is that when I was doing the glass cleaner with the alcohol and then with the clay bar, there was a black streak right here. And just dropped my dang on pad. Okay, there's no damn gravel on the side, we're good. There was a black streak right here, and it's gone now. And again, that was cleaning it, didn't get it off with a degreaser, and then clay barring it also didn't get it off, but the rubbing compound did. So the proof is, again, in the pudding. You know what I mean? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But let's go ahead and get this tank touched up. As I said, tank is my favorite part of the bike because it's one of the biggest, largest areas that needs to be shiny and clean, and it's the part that I see when I'm riding. Said it like 5 times already, but 6 or 7 times doesn't hurt. Now when you're wiping off the rubbing compound, you got to put some elbow grease into that stuff again, because it's not like just wiping off a spray wax. Like, if you don't get it all the way off, it will leave like a streaky kind of film behind, and I could only tell you in so many words that is extremely annoying. So it's better to just spend the time and get it off properly the first time. And this thing is getting so smooth, so smooth. At first it just kind of felt like a, you know, like a piece of 3,000 grit sandpaper. Then it felt like a clean window, and now it's actually starting to feel like a freshly waxed and polished bike. And we're only getting through the rubbing compound phase right now, and we're almost done. Let me go ahead and hit the front up. I'm gonna go ahead and get the bottom part down here on this fender knocked out. Again, straight forward and backward motions. We're just gonna keep it going. Now, for little small areas like this, it's not necessary to put more compound. Trust me, you have enough compound in the wax pad to hit little small areas like the side of this front fender up. So I don't want you to risk putting too much out, and then you got a large glob of compound in the area that you don't need it in, and then it takes forever to wipe and rub off, and then you done saturated a rag, and then you got to get another rag and all that garbage. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and get these lights. Man, I really hope y'all can see how clear my light glass is getting, or plastic, or Lexium plastic, or whatever. You know, I hope y'all can really see how crystal clear that's all getting. It just looks so good. And I'm actually just going to use the compound that I have in the rag. You can see that it's still streaking it up. I might even going to use more compound for this. You really just want to bust out more compound on the larger surface areas. I could have used some more here, but it's just not necessary. Get around this area down here. And again, this is a 08. It is an 08. I mean, part of it comes from having the ability to keep it in a garage. you know, and the other part of it comes from just taking care of it. I mean, because even if it's garage kept, if you're letting bug guts sit on there for, you know, a week, 2 weeks, yeah, I mean, it's not going to clean up. Like, your front end's going to be all messed up, your clear coat's going to be all damaged, and it's going to be terrible. But basically, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, hit the tail fender. I'll show you the tail fender portion of it, and I'll get right back with you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so for this back side, I'm actually going to go ahead and pop off my trunk piece here. Probably should have did this, my trunk piece. Pop off my rear seat. I'll put that right there. Probably should have did it from the get-go because it's kind of dirty around here, but that's fine. This rubbing compound to eat that right up, and I'm done with the compound now. Anyways, I'm done with this wax pad, so I don't have to worry about scattering this dirt throughout the rest of the bike. And again, I'm just going to be doing the same process. Again, this is a smaller area, so I'm not worried about doing a fresh dab of compound. There's enough mixture in the pad, soaked in the wax pad right now, so I don't have to do that. And then we'll get this all wiped down. So clean, homie. Did I get lazy on this rear end piece? Of course I did. I'm actually kind of thinking about sanding it down and painting this thing black anyways. Why? I don't know. I think a black tail will look dope on this bike. And it'll be the only 1K I've seen like that. I think it'll look pretty clean. Let's get that back on. Right. Recapping so far. We've done the glass cleaner portion. Hit it with the clay bar and the quick detailer. Check. We have hit it with the compound. Check. And the final stage is the Rain-X water repelling fast wax. Wax and dry in one step. You can put this on while it's still wet. But again, I just don't prefer wet application with a wax. You never get the same kind of bond that you do when you do a dry application. That's just a pro tip. I got a fresh, brand new microfiber, never used. And we're gonna go ahead and get to work on this. Again, like I was saying before, to see how thick this stuff sprays out, check this out, guys. This stuff is thick. It's not like your traditional spray wax. I wanted to get that point across like earlier on, so y'all didn't think I was joking, but it's legitimately very thick. And it puts a nice shine, a nice protective coat on there. And again, I have the proof because I did this on my car, and it was phenomenal. I was blown away by it. Yo, it's so hot out here. I got like beads of sweat all over my glasses right now, y'all. Ah, perfect. Oh man, this is looking so smooth. So smooth. We're going to get the front knocked out. Just put that like that. I like to just hit this corner up and just kind of get it on there. Perfect. We'll just do it like this. Y'all can see that shine. It's crazy. That's the thing. Like, if you have like a red or a black or an orange bike, man, it is so important. If you're into keeping your stuff clean and taken care of, it is so important to have a nice finish on your paint. And I say that is because these kind of colors like black and red, they show dinginess so quick. Like, it's crazy, it's insane how quick your bike can end up looking dingy. So I always stress, like, if you got a prime color bike, like a hot color bike, I mean, you all know black is a hot color bike, and it's very important to keep black shiny, because when black starts to look faded, you might as well just, bro, you gotta repaint it. You gotta repaint it, man, you know what I mean? And I'm not doing any separation here with the wax. I'm just kind of like wiping it over everything. This stuff is thick. It does not require a lot. Like, this bottle's gonna last me months. It goes a long way. It goes a super long way. I'm actually gonna get some wax in this windscreen as well. It just adds an extra layer of protection as well. And like, water just, it's crazy how the water just beads off of that thing. So, and if water's beating off, then you know that dirt and debris isn't sticking to it like that either. Let's go ahead and get this tank. Wax on, wax off. Daniel's son, Mr. Miyagi status. Alright. Look at that shine, y'all. Look at that shine. It's crazy. You're gonna hear me say that at least 20, 30 more times. Do 10 push-ups every time I say, look at that shine. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the other side up, hit the tail fin, and then we'll come back with the finishing touches. as I was saying earlier on in the video, there is something that you need to enhance your bike's black sections, and that is cover all. It is not tire shine. It's not. It's not. Do 10 push-ups every time I poke the can with my index finger. It's not just tire shine. There's a tire on it. I use it on my tires on my car all the time. It lasts forever. This stuff is the business. I'm gonna be hitting everything that's black on this bike, obviously, except for the tires. So let's get it in. And this stuff will not eat up, you know what I mean? It won't corrode any rubber gaskets or anything like that. I put it all over my crankcase, you know what I mean? And this stuff will stay on there nice. Put it on the frame. And the key to this is you want to get a nice coat of it, nice light coat of it. I'm not spraying this too heavy at all. And you want to let it sit for a little while, especially on your rubber stuff. You do not want to put this on your grips at all. Okay? Okay, guys, don't put it on your grips. Listen to me on that. Okay? Let me get up in here. Yeah, most times I would just let this like sit on the plastic, but some of these surface areas are too small for me to like spray long coats on it. So I'm just kind of like, you see me just kind of breezing by it. I'm definitely going to hit my side views slash rear view on the bike. So for these little sections right here, I'm just going to spray a little bit on the rag, get my index finger engaged, and then I'm just going to wipe around it and get those, because you don't want to put this back on your freshly waxed and clean surface. And you can see how this stuff just restores that fresh black look. And this is like, black plastic portions of your bike are key to your bike looking brand new. You can see the difference between this one and this one. Like, it's key to keeping your bike looking new and fresh at all times. Because your bike, like, you can get a fresh paint job, you know, try to make your bike look fresh and new, but if your plastics are all worn and garbage, then everybody's gonna know, yo, bro, you got an old bike. Because plastics actually take some sun. You gotta beat your plastics up a little bit to make them look old and worn out. Like, you gotta leave your bike in the sun for days at a time, so people automatically know that your bike is older just by the condition of your plastics. Now, one thing I also do is I come back here in my dash area where all these little dust mites are at. Little small bits of gravel get back there. I shine all of this up. Same thing. And then nothing back here looks old and rusty and dusty and faded or anything. Everything looks perfectly clean. Now, don't put this on your seats, because your seats will be you'll be slipping, sliding all over the place if you put this stuff on your seats, guys. So don't put it on your seats, because it'll make your seats very slippery, and you don't want that. Trust me. I did it on my 600RR and didn't turn out too well. Now, I'm being careful not to get this on my foot peg as well, because you don't want your foot to slide off of that. So be careful with that kind of stuff. Yes, this is perfectly safe to get on your crankcase and whatnot. And I'm actually going to put this on the lower fairing. I'm going to go back and do this to the other side as well. This will kind of put a nice little coat over this. You know, help give it a little bit of extra something, you know. Plastic sections like this. A little bit of wipe. I'm just spraying this. I even spray it on my rear shock. You know, this stuff isn't corrosive. It's not gonna hurt nothing, trust me. Alright. Let's wipe that down. Wipe that down. Everything back here is looking real good right now, guys. It's looking real good back here. Sometimes you gotta lotion your bike. You gotta put some lotion on your bike, you know what I mean? That's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm just putting some cocoa butter on my bike right now. That's basically what this is. It's basically what this is, yo. Need to go ahead and hit this plastic piece off over here. Wipe that down. Let's get that nice and covered, actually. There we go. There we go. I'll let that sit for a second. There we go. Let's get that nice up. And I'm just rubbing down my caliper, guys. I'm not I'm not getting it on the pad. I'm not getting it on the rotor. So chill out, you know. Don't want my calipers looking all dingy. And I'm gonna spray some on my exhaust as well. Just get my exhaust nice and shined up. There we go. Now you will smell that if you leave too much of it on your exhaust. You will smell some of that burn off. Just know that you're good to go. Your bike's not going to blow up. You're fine. Okay. And we are just about done. Let me get tied down here. Get this wiped off. Let me come up here as well. I want to get up on this real quick. And if you feel like you got some of this on your rotor, spraying down here and getting some of these other areas, man, just ride your bike around your neighborhood slowly at low speeds. I mean 10, 15 miles an hour, and just keep on tapping the brakes. If they feel a little soft, just keep on tapping it until you wear that stuff off. Like this stuff, it's not gonna last forever. So if you are fearful of that, you know, just know that there's that, you have that option. There we go. Things looking cleaner. Everything's looking cleaner, y'all. And you can just see how this treats these black areas. You know, on your bike, you can see the difference between this and this. So you can see it's kind of necessary. It's kind of necessary to do this, y'all. Like I said, every now and then you got to put some lotion on your bike. Every now and then. There we go. Get that up in there. That nice and clean. Nice and restored. Perfect. Boom. So as you can see, our bike looks incredibly clean. It's incredibly shiny right now. It's ready to ride. And again, it's ready to get a lot of compliments. I'm going to do a walk around on the bike so you can see exactly how clean it is up close and personal. But again, this is I Am. Love you guys. See you on the next one.